She was South Africa's first black professional social welfare worker. He was a prominent lawyer and a member of the African National Congress. Nelson Mandela married Winnie Madikizela in 1958, and together they became fearless political activists. Convicted on charges of sabotage, Nelson Mandela would spend 27 years behind bars. Just 27 when her husband was sent to prison, Winnie was banned, held in solitary confinement, restricted, and sent into domestic exile. All the while developing into a combative leader in her own right. During Nelson Mandela's imprisonment, Winnie became his surrogate and a symbol of the fight against South Africa's racial repression. When we think of the liberation of South Africa, we associate it with Nelson Mandela and his extraordinary life. But this was a special partnership, and what Winnie was able to do was equally as extraordinary. Nelson Mandela spent the majority of his sentence on Robben Island. He would emerge as the spiritual head of the struggle against apartheid. On the outside, Winnie Mandela maintained an iron-fisted campaign to keep the name of her jailed husband alive, while suffering her own persecution, incarceration and isolation in the control of the security police. Her public appearances regularly set off huge dancing demonstrations. And at the funerals of blacks killed in racial unrest, she was often carried on the shoulders of singing youths. Winnie Mandela was also a controversial figure, with allegations of kidnapping and murder, but her supporters maintained that her enemies were deliberately undermining Mrs. Mandela's image. In 2003, she was convicted of more than 40 charges of fraud. In 1990, South Africa's most famous prisoner was released from prison, an inspirational leader whose movement turned into a global crusade. But in 1992, Nelson and Winnie Mandela agreed to separate after 33 years of marriage. During the separation, Winnie continued to be plagued with scandal. In 1996, a judge granted Nelson Mandela a divorce, feeling that the couple would never be reconciled. But what remains at the center of this vast life journey is a powerful love story between an amazing woman and one of the most formidable men in modern history. And though the marriage may have been over, the fight for freedom for all in South Africa would continue.
Any existence of racism, we condemn it in the strongest terms. It is inexcusable. But we must look at problems from the point of view of the actual conditions in South Africa. Racism has been entrenched in this country for more than 3 centuries. You can't expect racism to be eliminated within 4 years. And whilst we should not tolerate racism and we should deal with it very firmly, nevertheless we must be realistic. To think that within 4 years in this country we would eliminate racism altogether is unrealistic.
Nelson Mandela, as leader of the ANC, was inaugurated in 1994 as the country's first black president. Following their acrimonious split, Winnie Mandela Madikizela, as she is now known, remains a popular yet notorious figure. She has been adored, feared and hated more than any other woman in South African history. But without the powerful pairing of these two anti-apartheid activists, the fate of South Africa could have been very different.